Hello friends, hope you all are doing great. In today's video, we're going to talk about two topics. The first one is going to be about the greatest trade in 2020, and the second is going to be a deep dive into my portfolio performance for the year 2020 or last year. So why am I talking about the greatest trade in 2020? There is a reason. I used to follow this hedge fund manager in 2014, 15, 16 time frame. He was all over in the media, and following him, I got into a large position in VRX or Valiant Pharmaceuticals. So rather than explain what happened, let me show you a graph. I got in here, and rest is history. You can kind of, you know what happened after that. So horrible was the performance of this company that it even changed its ticker symbol to its subsidiary's name. So now VRX is called BHC ticker symbol, or Bosch Health Companies. Anyway, the hedge fund manager that I am referring to is Bill Ackman. So he had many infamous bets during that time, one being Valiant. Next one was a short position in Herbalife. Basically, Ackman's hedge fund was struggling to be alive in 2016-2017, and then he kind of turned it around. And in 2020, he pulled off the greatest trade of 2020. So what exactly did he do? Let me explain. So he followed news about COVID, and after seeing what happened in China and Europe, Ackman knew that the new coronavirus would wreak havoc on the stock market. So even though back home at that time, no one seemed too concerned about the virus. But he was also kind of practical about this whole situation. He had a 7 billion portfolio, so it was not easy to liquidate all his position and kind of go short. It's kind of difficult to turn a battleship of that size, right? So instead what he did was he bought a portfolio insurance by spending $27 million in CDS, or credit default swaps. And so this is basically an asymmetric bet. Asymmetric in the sense that he insured 70 billion worth of equity against just using $27 million. So if the trade went south, he'll only lose $27 million. Ultimately, the pandemic hit hard and caused the largest market decline in US history. Pershing Square being Ackman's hedge funds, his CDS trade yielded a 100-fold return. So by mid-March, the hedge he had made using $27 million ballooned to $2.6 billion, so kind of 100 times the return. And then he closed the trade, and then he invested money back into the market and got another 1 billion in profit in the rebound trade. So in total he made almost $3.6 billion in this COVID trade, all kind of using that $27 million. So the vehicle he used for all this was called, I said before, CDS, or credit default swap. By the way, what the hell is this credit default swap? In simple terms, it's exchanging the risk from one entity to another entity. Let me explain. So let's assume that I loaned $1,000 to John. I'm using a fictitious name. So I loaned $1,000 to John, and the condition was he'd give me some interest, and he's going to pay back half the money in 6 months, and the remaining $500 in 1 year's time frame. After a few months, I'm kind of now worried that John might not be able to pay my money back. So what do? I go to another friend called Frank and tell him my concern, and Frank is not too worried about John. Frank believes that John can pay the money back. So what does Frank do? So Frank assures me that, hey, don't worry about John. If he doesn't pay the money back, the $1,000, I will pay you that money back, but you have to give me $50, right? So from my point of view, it's a good thing, right? Because I'm risking $1,000 that I might not get from John. So if I just give $50 to Frank, he's going to assure me that if John doesn't pay, Frank is going to pay. So it's good for me. And why does Frank do that? In this calculation, John is still going to pay the money back, so he's just going to make $50 for free. So that's the whole deal, right? So during February time frame, when Bill Ackman bought this CDS, the market was not considering much risk from COVID, or was not accounting risk. So that's why he was able to kind of buy this protection for just $27 million, and the protected value was $70 billion, right? Anyway, so I know you'll have this one question: could we as retail investors done this whole CDS thing? Unfortunately, no. This is not available. This instrument is not available for retail investors. So in one way, we can be happy about that. That means even if we wanted to do this trade, we could not. And there were some ETFs that kind of mirrored the CDX index, but I think none of them are much popular. I tried to look some ETFs which are still active, and I could not find any. So if you know some ETFs which mirror CDX index, please let me know. Okay, on to the next topic: my portfolio performance for the year 2020. So at the start of 2020, my account balance was approximately $32,000. So this includes some profit from 2019. I also deposited $37,000 over the course of last year. So when you add the 2019 year balance plus the $37,000 that I deposited in last year, the total investment come to around $69,000. And my ending balance for the year 2020 was $106,000. So basically the profit was $37,000 for last year, or a gain of 53%. Now for those who invested in Tesla or NIO or any of those hot stocks, this gain might not look impressive. However, as many of you already know, my portfolio is relatively conservative. In a portfolio that is majority ETFs and few stocks, 53-54% gain is pretty awesome. Now, my profit of $37,000 is not just from capital appreciation. So let me break that down further. So of this $37,000 profit, $12,000 came from options, selling option premiums. $2,000 came from dividends, and $23,000 came from capital appreciation. So as a percentage, I made a 17% profit using just options alone, a 3% profit from just dividends, and 33% from capital appreciation. Not too shabby, right? Realistically, capital appreciation of 33% is not possible every year. However, for the year 2021, I'm aiming for a 2% return on my portfolio per month, or 24% annually. Primarily, I'll be banking on option premium. So I know this is a lofty goal, but hey, no one said it was easy, right? So I'm going to take it 1 month at a time. January has been pretty good so far, and I already made my monthly goal of $2,000, right? 2% of a kind of 100k portfolio. So 1 month down and 11 more months to go. So by the way, if you want to see these actual trades, please let me know in the comments. I will include that in the next video. So that's all I had for today, folks. Hope you all are staying safe. Until next video, ciao.